So hey guys, welcome to Daily Flight Sim. It's a place where I live stream my flight sim flights, and it's also a place where I put out tutorials so fellow flight simmers can learn from what I do. The exercise we're going to focus today on is a very simple exercise. It's one of the first exercises that you do with a plane, and it's called straight and level flight. So with straight and level flight, what you want to do is you want to get the plane to go in the same direction and the same altitude without having to modify the controls or move around or play around with the controls too much. So we don't want the plane, tipping left, tipping right, moving up, moving down. It's going to be nice and level. It's going to be going in the same direction. And the reason why we want to do this is because we don't want to have to move the flight controls throughout the flight in order to fly the plane to our destinations, because then that will add a lot of stress to your flying, and you just won't be able to take your eyes and your mind off, the direction, the height, the speed. You'll have to constantly keep adjusting that, and that becomes very stressful. So a better way instead is to configure the aircraft in such a way that it's going to maintain the heading and the altitude, so you don't have to do much, and you can focus on monitoring other things, as well as just overseeing how the plane is flying and making corrections if needed, right? So I'm going to start this by loading up the Cessna. It's already loaded. It's just landed on the runway, but it's still off and stuff. So I'm going to just quickly turn on the engines, get the mixture in order, get the fuel pump going, and let's fire it up. Get my power levers as well. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to release the brakes now, and we're going to take off. We'll go to 1500 feet before I start doing this exercise. Okay, waiting for the takeoff speed right now. Okay, should be comfortable. Just a little pull of the flight controls and we're up. Okay, so one of the most important things for straight and level flight is to look at the horizon line. Okay, and what we need to do is find a reference point for that when we're flying level on our aircraft somewhere. It could be, I think in our exercise it's going to be here, but it doesn't matter where. But you're going to just ensure that your horizon line is always touching a certain reference point when you're flying level. So that's what we're going to do. And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to monitor this vertical speed indicator. So right now it's pointed really up because we're climbing, but at straight and level flight it's going to be horizontal. Obviously when the plane is falling, this is going to be, the indicator is going to move down, right? So we want to ensure that we get this absolutely horizontal. That's what we need to achieve. And of course we want to ensure that the horizon line is straight, which means that we are not really turning in any direction. So we have another 300 feet before we hit 1500 feet, and I'm going to start leveling off the aircraft. Okay, step one is to bring the power down to the cruise levels, which is 1900 RPM. I'm going to do that very slowly. So you can hear the engine power being cut, and right there we've got it at 1900. So now you can see that the horizon line has come up a lot. You can see that our vertical speed indicator has gone down to indicate that the flight is actually going down. But just about the point where it's level, I know that I'm going to use this reference point, and I know that that's where it needs to be for the flight to not be gaining any altitude, right? So now I'm going to apply some pressure on my joystick, and I'm going to keep it at that point. Right. So we've kept it at the point, and you can now see that the vertical speed indicator is almost horizontal. Now what I'm going to do is add a little bit of trim to keep the aircraft in this position. So I've released my joystick now, and I've added a little bit of trim, and you can see that the plane is flying absolutely straight. There's a little bit of a right turn, so I'm going to give a little bit of left aileron. This is done by the trim, and I can see that we're losing a bit of altitude, so I'm going to add just a little more trim. To ensure that we are flying level. So there will be a bit of bobbing, but the plane will soon settle down. Just observing and adjusting the trim. The important thing while doing this is to ensure that you don't react too quickly to what the airplane is doing. What you want to do is observe the plane, observe the trend, and then correct the trend. So right now I'm also applying a little bit of joystick. I think we are in a place where the air pressure is changing a lot, which is why the plane is moving up and down quite a bit. Yeah, and we seem to have hit some stability now again. So you can see now that the plane is absolutely straight, right? You don't see much of changes in level, and it's more or less flying in the same direction. Once it's set this way, you don't have to do much to get the plane to go in the direction that you want it to go or maintain the altitude that you want to maintain. The important point here is to get that reference point. If you don't have the reference point, then you'll be pretty lost about how to get the plane to fly straight. This holds true even when you turn, because when you make a turn, you can again find a reference point for the line to ensure that you stay level when you make your turn. Right? So general rule of thumb is that once you find this reference point, if you find more of the ground showing up, it means your plane is going down. So you need to pull your stick up to get the plane to fly straight. And if you see more of the sky, that means the plane is pitching up. So what you need to do is correct for both these situations and ensure that the horizon line is always intersecting that one single point on your that one single reference point on your craft. So that's how you do level flight, straight and level flight. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you next time with another tutorial.